Welcome back to 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast, a show focused on highlighting the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, the HBCU of Texas, by promoting SWAC and the HBCU experience, featuring your fellow PV Panthers, Roland Austin, Jay Cleasy, Big Mike Washington, three-time SWAC champ Gati Werema, former drum major HBCU band historian Shawnetta Haskell, and Al Williams, driving the show from the Hill. Please subscribe and follow us on social media at 1876 SCP. And don't forget, we do it for the culture.
And welcome to the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. We are back from spring break. We almost at the end of March, man. What in the world? This year is going by pretty quick for me.
It's COVID time, man. It fly by.
Man, golly.
It'll be 20. It'll be New Year's pretty soon.
I'm trying to tell you, man. So news on the Hill. We got a new volleyball coach.
Yes, we do.
PV alone.
Got a feeling the attendance at volleyball games gonna be up.
Yep. Yeah, I get that sneaking suspicion too.
Time to support the team.
Right. Coach Lindsay returns to PV. She's a 2012 alum. Played volleyball at PV. So glad to have her back home. She was coaching at ECU and had taken them to the postseason for the first time since 2013. So this looks like a good hire to me, man.
Oh, yes. She's got a nice resume.
Yeah, she's got some D1 experience. She's got some head coach experience, small school, big school. She was the assistant coach at Tiffin University in Ohio. She brings a lot of experience to the table, among other stuff. So
she's a Sarah too, isn't she? Okay.
Wait, what?
I think I read that.
I don't know. We're gonna have to get some confirmation before I run with that one. Okay. I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
She's great. Her resume is solid. She's from Denver. She has a bachelor in communications and an MBA. So she brings a lot to the table, not only from a coaching standpoint, but from a business marketing standpoint. Hopefully she can do more for the team. This is only the third, fourth year for volleyball. So I look for great things from this young lady, really.
Yeah. Glad to have her back on the Hill, man. Gardner doing his thing as an interim, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Man.
He might have to keep that seat warm for a few.
I'm trying to tell you. I won't be mad.
Yeah, if all his candidates had that kind of pedigree, my vote's for Gardner.
Mike, that giggle was a little too good there, bro. You got 27 years in the game, bro. Pump your brakes.
It was a cup of coffee I was smiling at.
Keep the child,
oh, Lord.
Man, I'm too
off the rails already.
I'm doing too much.
All right. So, man, what's going on in Houston, bro? So, TSA is taking over HISD because of the test scores from one high school.
One school.
We talking about they're going to take over a district with 200,000 students, one of the biggest districts in the country, because of grades at one high school.
I didn't realize it was based on one school.
It's one school, Phyllis Wheatley High School.
Oh, my goodness. So this is a power play. This is a money grab.
Well, they tried to take it over in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lawsuit. The lawsuit finally finished. So now they're coming back. They're circling back after the lawsuit saying, yeah, we still want to take y'all over because of Phyllis Wheatley.
Yeah, and this is not the first time they've done it. They did it in 2012 for El Paso ISD. And what they did is they put a so-called board of managers in place, handpicked individuals to take over the school district. In 2014, they did it for Beaumont ISD. Then they started looking at North Forest. So this is not the first. Notice the similarities.
All districts of color.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the hell with y'all election. I know y'all elected these folks to run things, but we gonna appoint them and take it over because y'all can't manage it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you looked at President Simmons' interview last week on KPRC, she spoke about this subject. After she spoke about the Board of Regents foolishness, she also spoke about TEA taking over HISD and what that looks like, having non-educators, non-professionals, non-specialists come in and take over a school district and run the school district, something that is not their forte. So it's been noticed, definitely.
It just makes no sense. I know back when I was in Michigan, the state took over the Detroit public schools, ran up all the debt. They left the school district in dire financial straits, and just the district went from over 140,000 to almost 60,000 students. So the enrollment dropped in half. All the parents just fled because it was that bad.
There's no time limit. They have this board of managers. They put them in place. It could be 12 months. It could be 2 years. It could be 3 years. Then they put them away, and by some quirky ass rule, that board of managers can still be paid as consultant by dictate of the state. How does that work? So they still get money.
So my tax money is going to these folks that I didn't elect,
right,
to do something that they are not even trained to do.
But these folks have the power to remove elected individuals. Go figure.
Oh my!
Y'all
this is a mess.
Playing the wrong game. Y'all better learn the game. Listen, I tell my kids all the time, understand the game you playing. Don't walk out here with your feet that we playing basketball.
I need to learn.
Rolling your audio went crazy again.
I need to learn how to be on this board of managers because whoever gets picked, they get paid twice.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, bro. All right. So also we learned, after a long illness, Otis Taylor, PV's own Otis Taylor, passed away in Kansas City. So he played for Kansas City Chiefs for 10 years. He was instrumental in them winning Super Bowl IV. He still has one of the top iconic catches. You still see that catch. We saw it at the intro to the Super Bowl this year. He still has not made it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he was on the consideration list this year, which started off with 24. I think they have to get it down to 12 by July. Is that right, Mike?
That's correct. And the thinking is that he may be added or was going to be added. His family has been pushing it posthumously since he has passed and gone. The one thing I would like to say is, why is he not? You look at some of the contemporaries of his time, where Bolitnikoff, you look at even Bullet Bob Hayes, were all added. Now, his numbers were not comparable to Bolitnikoff, but only because Bolitnikoff played 3 or 4 more years. They were comparable to Bullet Bob Hayes. He had more receptions, more yards, but Bob Hayes had more years. So he played in an offense that was 70-30, 70% run, 30% pass, and he still was able to put up the yardage he was. So I don't know why there's such a hang up in getting him this man. And I'm a little personal because my dad went to PV. He was a roommate for 2 years with Otis Taylor. So
really?
I'm a little personal on this topic. There's no way this man should not be in the Hall of Fame.
And so given the high power offenses that have come out of Kansas City in this modern era, he is still number 3 in receiving yards.
Wow.
Yes.
And that was before the 16-game schedule.
Yes.
He is still number 3 all time
for
Kansas City Chiefs.
So what is the reasoning? What's the justification for him not making it?
Good question. The thing I've heard is other folks have garnered more votes. It becomes political, more yardage here, more this, more that, more that. But really, no good reason as to why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
So it's all
probably
straight subjective.
said the wrong thing somewhere.
Yeah, that tells me he pissed off too many sports reporters who vote on this Hall of Fame. That's all.
Well, they all gone now. Everybody that covered him got to be gone by now.
and so the current guys aren't aware of his work. They just got looking at his numbers.
I think,
but they have
that's the biggest piece, Joe. You said a lot. The folks that were aware of the type of offenses that were run, what type of defenses they didn't have. They didn't have hand check, calls, in favor of, the offense back then. He played against, the Steelers defense. He played against the Raiders defense.
They could rape you. They could rape you at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
You get hit coming off the line of scrimmage. So the folks who saw him play there, there's not a lot of them here now to defend and to speak up in his favor.
But for the Hall of Fame, there is a different committee that considers players that have been out of the game for 25 years or more.
The seniors.
There is a different committee. Yeah, a senior committee. Yeah. So hopefully he makes it in this year with this ballot. We'll be pulling for him. I think that'll be PV's first in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So we're looking for Otis Taylor to make headway.
No, we got
Kenny Houston.
Oh, Kenny Houston. That's right. Oh,
Kenny Houston.
Dang, I got to get in the cut for that one. Yikes.
If we wasn't on the air, I'd be saying.
I know.
Yeah, we got a couple that should be up for that, man. Clem Daniels,
I know.
Should be up too. So,
So, PV, other news. PV got a $5 million grant from the USDA. Mike, what do you hear about that?
Yeah, so it's this effort to reduce greenhouse gases, and it went to PV, but they're working with the University of Michigan and a couple of other organizations. And it's good that PV is getting some of the notoriety, but it's also in an effort to help small farmers, which the majority of which are people of color, to be honest. And you have this ultimate goal to reduce greenhouse gases. Stuff like methane, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, stuff that comes from diesel-run engines that are known to power a plant, also fluorocarbons from pesticides or whatever. A lot of your small farmers cannot afford this, thus they can't be in tune with the new greenhouse gas emissions. So this $5 million, also aided by University of Michigan and others, goes to help small farmers, and is being funneled through the Prairie View A&M agricultural department. So it's a big deal. Helping really farmers of color.
So Prairie View will determine who gets those checks, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see the ag department. The ag department is putting in that work. Dr. D'Souza over there is as the dean is really leveling up the A in the A&M.
Hey man,
so
ag is doing what ag has always done. It's been a lot. Yeah. There's always been a lot of money coming through the ag department.
That point right there. Ag,
don't sleep on the ag.
This is nothing new for the ag.
No.
I stayed away from that side of campus, man. I ain't know nothing about no cows and stuff.
I remember when they were doing stuff with goats. I'm like, goats? We got goats in Texas?
So Prairie View was a huge distributor of goat meat to the local Jamaican community in Houston.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Huge producer.
And the largest, one of the largest research institutions on goats. And
on goat research. I was like, we need to know that much about goats. I didn't know.
I was about to say, I thought you could just throw a goat on the side of the road and he good.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to one tree one day he eat that circle. Time to another one he eat that circle.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit more than that on that research paper, buddy. It just stopped there. Time to the side of the road and come back.
All I know is when you drive through Jamaica, it's ghosts all along the street, and they ain't getting no special attention. So,
he getting some attention, just not right then.
Right.
He's getting some special attention in about 2 or 3 months.
He's about to get jerked around.
Exactly.
Literally.
He's gonna get curried on to the next show.
Oh, God.
All right, man. So in other news, the PV Texas Juvenile Center is to host a community violence forum coming up.
What is that?
Yeah. I kind of had to take a look at that. I was like, so what is this about? And so PV was chosen to talk about this community violence thing. I kind of had to, shake my head and say, all right. So they're gonna have I forget his name, but he is head of the Violence Commission, and I wondered why it wasn't at Sam Houston State, which also has a violence committee, but PV was chosen, and it's going to police superintendent for Lobach, David Brown of the Chicago Department, Chief William McManus of, I think, San Antonio. So some big heavy hitters that are going to talk about this. And, all you hear is about we're grateful to the opportunity to talk about violence, but what I don't hear is where this violence is coming from. This is a whole lecture series, the state of violence in our communities and what is necessary to reduce it. But what I want to hear is it's a panel discussion. What I want to hear is some actions coming from it. You hear a lot of talk, but where are the actions?
What
That's
are
my
takeaways
concern.
from it? Yeah.
That was my first thought. Every time I see these forums, that's always my first thought. Like, all these intellectuals always want to sit around and talk about stuff and discuss stuff, but like, what is the after effect? What's the implementation from these forums? Like, what happens with all these words that are spoken?
That's not what PhDs do.
I get to put this is what the after effect is. I get to put a bullet point on my webpage that says I supported these community service forums, and I get a big tax write-off because I just paid for some guy to go down there and speak for it. That's what it does. I mean, I don't know. I feel a little torn about this stuff. I mean, we know that the violence happened in our communities. We also know what has perpetuated the escalation of violence in our communities, right? It's the lack of resources, it's the lack of opportunities, it's the lack of funding. So we're gonna talk about that again.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my point.
I just summed that whole forum up in about 3 seconds.
It's a perpetual circle, and that's all we talk about. We should be. But I haven't heard is here's what we've done. Here's what's going to be done. Difference in language. Yeah. So it's a series, it's a panel discussion, but that's it.
Well,
we started our conversation off talking about the school district being taken over by non-educators. So how's this going to impact violence in the community?
My only good point about this, man, listen, our juvenile justice department there is pretty solid. Has some very strong students in there. So I hope they're ready for the smoke, because they probably going to let them have it.
Well, this comes on here. I understand that the state of Texas is considering closing all juvenile facilities in the state. And they're going to go to a different model of juvenile justice reform.
Oh, really?
Which looks like what? Throw them in the big house? What does it look like?
No, they're doing things where they'll be required to do things closer to home. So it looks like they are not looking to remove those juveniles from their homes, and they're trying to do things more on a local level with a heavier focus on rehabilitation versus the punitive things that happen in the juvenile justice detention centers.
Okay,
those are basically turning into
that's a good thing. I like that, because the other way just perpetuates the cycle to continue on. Once I'm labeled a bad kid, I'm going to keep on doing it. So
Well, here's the other thing about these forums. This is the third forum I've seen, and you look at the job descriptions of the folks that are on it. Police superintendent, Chicago Police Department, head of police department, head of police department. Nobody from any government council, nobody from any business, nobody from any community, other stakeholders in this process. So you get one side point of view. So that goes back to my point. Then nothing comes out of this.
Yeah.
All they know how to do is lock people up. Those folks who are talking on this committee, they know how to lock you up, incarcerate you.
Yeah.
They don't.
They aren't trained for prevention.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
The police are not trained. Yeah, police are not trained for prevention or rehabilitation. So you're asking them to do something that they aren't trained to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I'll be positive.
All right, and with that, let's take a break and we'll come right back to talk some baseball.
He say with that.
I'm just saying, man. I mean,
yeah, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I feel like we are so being patronized on some of these topics, boy. I tell you, it's like.
Actually, let's not even take a break. Let's just go right into it, man. The baseball team, they are 2-16, man. What is going on?
That's that preseason schedule, man. They've had a tough preseason schedule. None of it is swag play.
Right.
You know, but we talk about this with basketball as well. The tough preseason non-conference play. It makes your record look really bad to start your season off, and then you kind of have to fight back, I think, mentally from that appearance of your record.
I kind of wonder about that, Joe, because you look at Jackson State's women's preseason schedule, and you look at others like North Carolina's when they were in the MEAC, their preseason, they were at least competitive. You look at these Prairie View scores, 0-19, 4-15, 0-13, 1-17. They were not even competitive. We should at least be competitive.
Yeah, well, Stephen F. Austin was 11-1 against SFA.
So does this come around to that discussion about being fully funded?
Agreed.
You can't compete. You can't compete with a fully funded program with a not fully funded program. So that's kind of on us.
So that's teaching them how to, hit the ball faster, or like, come on, man, you know how those girls be swinging. Like.
Rolling, your audio went crazy again, bro.
And I don't know what the hell you talking about.
I know your audio went crazy, man.
But think about this, guy. You look at the girls' preseason schedule: 1-5, 1-2, 2-4. They did have one loss against Missouri, 0-11, but 0-5, 2-8, a little bit more competitive. They were in the game at some point, but the Prairie View men were not in the game. So, subsidized program. Do they have the athletes? Do they have the resources to go out and get the bats that they need? I think it's apples and oranges, and I think we need to look at that.
Yeah.
But again, the good thing is we're 1-0 in conference play. That first victory against Alcorn State was 10-4, so that means the bats are out doing their thing. So the goal again is to win conference, win SWAC.
Yes.
Now the non-play comes into when you make it to the College World Series. You got to play basically teams outside of the SWAC. So how competitive can you be against those teams? But hey, the main thing is the main thing: win SWAC.
Right.
So that it also begs the question of: do you need a separate conference, a separate tournament for HBCU schools? There's chatter amongst that in football. There's chatter amongst that in basketball. Even if you look at the seeding, is this the place you discuss that? I don't know. So
no,
I look at schools like Gonzaga, Creighton. Those schools, you hadn't heard of those schools in the 80s. In the 90s, they invested. And they became competitive, and they've remained competitive. Now, they're not competitive in any other sport, but they are around every year in basketball. So look at North Carolina A&T in track and field. They invested. They became competitive. They were in Oregon at the NCAA championships. So to me, I don't want a consolation prize. I want to win the big one. So we need to invest so we can win the big one because, just like the NIT, all right, you're the 65th best team. Okay, and,
all you made me do is miss some more classes.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
But invest, be intentional about in those sports that are important to you. Alumni have to support those athletic programs as well, and we have to recruit, which again, obviously takes money, but also, W's help increase, makes recruiting easier in all sports.
And we need to make sure that when our coaches go to recruit, they are fully funded and they can recruit wherever the players are.
Yep.
Right now, they are kind of stuck just recruiting locally, at least for sports outside of basketball and football. They have to recruit locally because they're not funded for out of state. They get 2 or 3 out of state waivers and that's it. So
yeah, and that hurts a lot in a sport like baseball, where you have a ton of high caliber players outside of the state of Texas. Texas is not necessarily a hotbed for baseball. So if you are forced to recruit just in the state of Texas baseball, softball, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And to get really good quality, especially pitching, which is really crucial when you come to tournament time, to have the deepest pitching. You're not going to get that just by staying in the Houston area, Houston, Texas area. You have to go out. You have to go across borders to get that quality pitching.
Absolutely.
So what is the moral of the story? As usual,
money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
All right, I won't talk softball because we got a special guest coming up next. But let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with some Meet Me at the Flagpoles. And welcome back. We are joined today by none other than PV softball coach, none other than Coach Vernon Bland. Coach Bland, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. How about yourself?
Going good, going good. I know you're feeling good after yesterday. That was a nice finish to that doubleheader.
Yeah,
really, both the early and the late game.
Both games, yeah. We went in the extra innings in both games and pulled them both out. So that was very exciting. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I was out with COVID, so my capable assistants.
Man, that's so 2020. What you mean, COVID?
I thought we was done with that foolishness. Why you getting tested?
I did too, but we had I was out. One of our starting pitchers was out. We had just got 3 outfielders back Friday, so it's been a pretty rough week.
So are we still actively testing all student athletes?
No, I had symptoms, and so actually with one of the players, she had symptoms. We was on the bus the week before, and then Wednesday she came back, had symptoms, so she tested. And so there's a couple of players that's not vaccinated, so they had to. The protocol is that they're not vaccinated, they have to sit out 7 days. And so I started feeling getting symptoms after the Southern Series, and I tested positive. So,
man, I'm like, that seemed like that was so 2020.
Yeah, that's what
I know, man.
That seemed like that was like 6 years ago.
I know, right?
Are we still doing that?
And it came up positive. I took another one. I was just
like, wait, what?
A person get a nose itch, man. Let me go get my COVID shot.
And the crazy part, I had just told somebody when the player got it, and they was telling me about the kids that had to sit out. I was like, man, this the flu. If she had the flu, she wouldn't have to sit out. But this anybody that think COVID not real must didn't get it, because this time it really put me on my back. So I'm glad to be up and running.
Oh, it'll make a believer out you, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm a
believer. Everybody you be running. Oh, it ain't nothing but a cold. Yeah.
The first time I tested positive, I had to quarantine for a week. That was a vacation.
So you done caught up on all your Netflix and everything.
That was a 7-day vacation, but this one here was this one was pretty rough.
Yeah. So, Coach, I know the game. We got to watch a lot of the game from the TSU YouTube channel, and the pitching looked like it's coming together. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, Massey and Jerk, they pitched complete games, both games. So they actually our pitching has been doing well all year. We hadn't been hitting the ball, so for us to hit yesterday was pretty good. We still have to win 2 of the 3 games, and we still had 3 of our potential big hitters hitting below 200, and it's looking pretty good.
All right, yeah, if they get going.
Yeah, if they get going, we're gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's saying a lot. We're sitting here 5-0 in conference play, and we still haven't had the bats come out yet.
The bats. This lineup has the potential to be good from 1 to 9.
So, Coach, one question. I'm sorry for the background noise, but I'm on the road on assignment. You talk about batting. You're right at 200 team batting average.
Right.
But yet you're still 5-0, right behind Grambling, and everybody's talking about the vaunted FAMU and Bethune that's coming in. What would you say about the potential batting and fielding of this team that's still 5-0 and down in the statistics? That's unexplainable.
Yeah, like I said, our pitching has really been holding us down. We hitting 200. That's after we came up this weekend, so we were actually hitting lower than that. So I just think once the weather warm up, get a little warmer. Like one of our big hitters, Jalen was out for 2 weeks. She got cleated real bad at Connie Word, so she's been out. Audrey Garcia, she's just been struggling, so she's under 200, but she hit a 2-run homer yesterday in the extra innings, and so if we can get her going, we like I said, we're gonna be in pretty good shape.
Understood. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. Looking good.
Yeah, I'd rather be sitting 5-0 hitting 200 than 0-5
Exactly.
hitting 350.
Exactly.
I know that's right.
I'll be 5-0, second place in the SWAC West.
And not, like I said, we haven't even started playing good yet, so I'm excited.
This is one of them cases that data points go out the window.
Yeah. You can hit 300, but what you hitting with runners in scoring position?
Exactly.
So that's what yesterday we came up big, and every time they scored, we scored. So that's our biggest thing is respond. When they punch us, we got to punch back, and so we punch back and we punch last.
He went the exact opposite of Karate Kid.
Right. So
strike back.
It worked.
Strike last. Hey, Coach, let's switch gears a little bit. So when you think about, I know everybody watches all the social media and stuff like that, and we saw the kind of viral video of Grambling's dugout kind of cheering on the team. What are some of that kind of incite the ladies to get out and maybe let's try to put a little social media banter and a little battle back there on Twitter, Instagram.
Coach Hall at Grambling is like a little sister, so that's her personality. So they kind of take off her personality. I'm a slight bit older than her, so I won't be doing all the dancing and TikTok videos. But her team feeds off of that, and so that's what she allows that to go on. We cheer. We're trying to get bigger in the social media. We have a video that came out. We also have you guys come to the game. We have a song, personalized song, when we play our lineup. So, as it starts, the champs are here, it names some of the players. It has some of the highlights in there from the SWAC tournament. So, we're trying to build that social media following, but, Grambling is Grambling. I don't think we'll ever be dead hyped in the dugout, but,
Man, they got these new stuff. I remember the old school hubba ring a ding ding.
They got a dude did a remix to them. They got a remix to it. So
oh, really?
No. Yeah. So it's blown up. It's good for the SWAC, good for women's softball. So
yeah, I saw your social media, your Instagram, that video you mentioned, and I liked it. It was hype. I think it's exactly what we need, and just to feed off of what, like you said, what Grambling is doing, and FAMU has a nice social media presence too. So I think every team in the SWAC, whatever contributions you can make to bring up the profile of SWAC softball is a good thing. And do whatever is comfortable to you. You don't have to do what everybody else
Right. I definitely won't. She has a dance. Coach Hall has a dance called the lawnmower where she dances and do all. I won't be doing.
It's called the lawnmower. Really?
Yes. Yeah, it's like I said, it's good fun. You know, the young ladies enjoy it. That's what get them going. So we go there this weekend. I have to just tell my kids don't get caught up. You know, it's not a cheerleading contest. We going down there to swing the bat. That's what make the most noise when you swinging the bats and laughing when you get on the bus after you win.
Yeah.
Trying to get that little tink.
That thing, yeah.
So, Coach, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, Coach, you're sitting at your overall record. I think is 6-15, if I believe. So talk to us about how we can start turning that early season non-conference, start turning those into W's. What will it take?
Well, we got to hit the ball. You know, like we went to a tournament in February in Clearwater, invitational tournament that was only 3 HBCUs there, us, Southern, and Howard. And so we lost to Indiana with the Big Ten school 5-0. We lost to Pitt 4-1. We lost to Furman 2-1. We just didn't hit. You know, so if we hit like we can, those would definitely be victories in non-conference. I just think early on we just had the last 2 years, because previously we had been winning non-conference games. It was just this year and the last year when we started out 0-19, you know, which was unbelievable. But we usually do decent in the non-conference. Just say this last 2 years things hadn't gone our way, but you know, the biggest goal is to win your last SWAC game. So that's what we.
There it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
So, Coach, you got Texas Southern coming up. You've got A&M Corpus Christi, then 2 games against Graham, the doubleheader against Graham, back to back, and then Houston Christian. So, how are you looking to close out this month? Are you really focused on the SWAC teams, or you want to just beat everybody?
Well, of course, the goal is to beat everybody, but we like this week, we have to make up the last game against Texas Southern. So we either gonna do it Tuesday or Wednesday. So I don't think we're gonna end up playing the A&M, the Corpus game, unless we reschedule. So then we go into that and play Grambling for 3 games and come back and play Houston Christian. So like I said, we're looking to, of course, win every game, but the definitely would be the preference is to win the SWAC games, and you know we'd definitely be not saving pitches, but just letting our pitches be more focused on those games.
Yeah,
all right.
That's where the money resides.
That's where it is.
They don't pay me to be Houston Christian.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we sure appreciate you joining us. You know, you got an open invite whenever you want to come back, and we're looking to see those paws up again with another ring this year coming out of the SWAC. And good luck moving forward for the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for supporting us. You know, if we can get, again, we're always asking alums and fans to come out and support us. You know, the games are free now, so you can just walk up, park in the grass, sit out there, have your coolers and barbecue pits and heckle the outfielders and just have a good time.
There we go.
Sound like a game plan.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. Yeah.
Get the Yetis ready.
And that's Diet Coke. That's Diet Coke in your coolers, right?
That's Diet Coke in your coolers. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Have a good one. Get well soon,
y'all
Coach.
take it easy.
All right, take
Coach.
care. All right, and so we back with the We Ready shout-outs. Joe, who you got?
I want to give a shout out to Kaylin Massey, pitcher on the softball team. She had a 9 strikeout inning to beat TSU 7-5. She pitched a complete game. She came in there starting off swag play. She ready.
She ready.
She ready.
All right, Mike.
I want to give a shout out to the whole Prairie View A&M softball team. Coming into the season, they're 5-0, right behind Grambling in the West, and they shut out Southern 3 straight, shut out Texas Southern 2 straight. The third game had to be rescheduled. We are not sure if that'll be replayed, but they're 5-0. The bats are cracking. Hey, that softball team, they ready.
They ready. And I'm going to give my shout out to Big Mike, who is joining us for the first time in 5011 shows, because he's been all over the world.
Literally.
Brazil. How many continents, bro? About 3 continents? About 12 states? Hey, all I know, Mike, is I'm going to Kansas City for NASB this weekend. What's up?
I'm stuck in measly old Nashville this week.
See, here's the backstory on that. The last time NASB was in Kansas City, me and Mike found this little hole in the wall spot.
Hole in the wall.
And
who walks in there?
Yeah, and our former dean from PV and former provost from Texas Southern.
Yeah. Walk up in there.
Kendall walked in there, and he's like, "What y'all doing here, man?" We pulled out the cigars. I think I left that place and went straight to the airport because it was like 5-something in the morning, man.
I left that place. I think I had 2 hours until my flight too.
I went straight to the airport, bro. So,
welcome back, Mike.
Yeah, welcome back. All right, Shanetta is on assignment for the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna run us and take us out of here. We're doing the traditional. I have to call it. I see you got to call play now.
Thanks for the heads up.
So here we go. PV.
You know.
Yeah, we need practice.
That was awesome.
We know how to work.
It's only been 3 years.
1 week. And we come back ready.
All right, we out. All right.